I want to talk about this whole LeBron situation. With he said he almost cracked. Now we all know LeBron left Cleveland last year, took him took Cleveland back to the NBA Finals, and they got swept by Golden State. And LeBron James was a free agent, right? So I believe LeBron James could have went to any team except Golden State. Golden State did not want LeBron James joining the team. So LeBron James could have picked any team, besides Golden State. And he chose to go to the Los Angeles Lakers. And LeBron James knew the roster because it's reported that when he met with Magic Johnson, they sat down and Magic Johnson said before he can even tell LeBron about the roster, LeBron James told him about every player on the roster. So LeBron James understood, first of all, that the team was young, especially the core like Ball, Ingram, Hart, and Kuzma. Those are young players. So he understood that those guys were young when he went there. And now there's a report out that he said he almost cracked. Come on, man. Look, this is LeBron James does this every year, man. You know what I'm saying? LeBron James, I keep telling people that he's not good under pressure. He's just not good under pressure. He doesn't see he does better when he's on an underdog team. When he's with a young team, just like this. But see, this is different because he's in LA. You know what I'm saying? He was in Cleveland, then he was in Miami, and then he went back to Cleveland. So those are low market teams that does not have even though Miami he won some championships with Miami, but before he went to Miami, Miami had only won one championship. And Miami does not have the expectations that LA fans will put on you, by LeBron James going to LA. That's what makes this different than those teams. Yes, he's with a young team, which I said he thrives on being with a young team because it's like the pressure is off his shoulders. But the pressure is not off his shoulders with this team because he's in LA. Big media market. LA has a history of winning. LeBron James chose to go there. He isn't like he was traded there. He chose to go there. So when he said he almost cracked, like I keep telling people, I take it all the way back to the Dallas Mavericks series. When he couldn't handle the pressure, when he joined the Miami Heat and they had Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh. Two perennial All Stars, two players that led their teams to multiple playoff series. Dwayne Wade, who had already won a title with Miami, and they faced the Dallas Mavericks, who had only one star in Dirk Nowitzki. They had some pretty good players. They had Tyson Chandler, Deshaun Jackson, Sean Marion, Jason Kidd, and they had Jason Terry. They had some pretty good players on that team, but that Miami team should have beat that team if LeBron James would have showed up, but he shrank. You can even go back to some of the games. I remember some of the games when Sean Marion, Deshaun Stevenson was talking mess to him. You know what I'm saying? And getting in his ear, Jason Terry getting in his ear, and he just cracked. He cracked under pressure. And when he, you know, came and then after that, yes, they did win two titles. You know what I'm saying? And they beat San Antonio, which they came back and beat San Antonio. San Antonio kind of choked down the stretch in Game Six. With They had that game in the bag. If Ginobili and Kawhi Leonard make free throws, that series is over. But then that next year, guess what happened? He got blown out by a record 14 points a game against San Antonio. He up and left. Boom, go right back to Cleveland. And that team was a team that wasn't used to winning. You know what I'm saying? So it was like no pressure. Like if I bring a title to this team, even though I got Kyrie, we got Kevin Love, that's a big thing. You know what I'm saying? So after he went through the whirlwind with him and Kyrie, they did win a title. They did lose to Golden State twice when he had when him and you know Kyrie Irving was together. Even though Kyrie Irving did get hurt in that first playoff series, people fail to realize that was Golden State's first go around in the finals, and and Cleveland had Golden State down 2-1. People fail to realize that in the first two games, Steph Curry didn't play well. Della Vadova was getting into Steph Curry, being physical, very physical with Steph Curry. Steph Curry couldn't get his rhythm. It took Steph Curry all the way to game four, almost game to the about the second quarter, second, third quarter in game four to get his rhythm. You know what I'm saying? Then he took off. But Cleveland had control of that series, even though they didn't have Kevin Love or Kyrie Irving, they had control of that series. So, and they dropped the ball. But that next year they won a title. Draymond Green head case, called LeBron James names, and Draymond Green got suspended. Because that year it was accumulation with Draymond Green. He got suspended because he was kicking people in the nuts and doing outlandish things, getting technical fouls. So that was a combination. Now, do I think he should have got suspended for that? What he did against LeBron James? No, but it was a combination. But of what happened, and he lost his head and he got suspended, which shifted the momentum over to Cleveland. Cleveland was able to come back and win. Then that next year, Golden State gets Kevin Durant, and then they go on to win and beat LeBron James in the next two titles. But for him to say he almost cracked, and you chose the team, you didn't have to go to a young team. You could have went to a veteran team. He could have went to Philly. He could have went to Philadelphia. You know what I'm saying? They got young players, but at least they are used to winning. At least Joel Embiid and Ben Simmons did go deep into the playoffs. They're used to winning to a certain degree. In LA, though, Ball, Ingram, Hart, and Kuzma, they haven't even made the playoffs, so they don't even know what winning looks like. So when LeBron James say he almost cracked, yeah, you even said when you went there you have to be patient with the young players. You know what I'm saying? And you chose to go there. You could have went to any other team. Like could have went to Houston and fit right in Houston. Could have slide right in Trevor Ariza's spot and could have you know what I'm saying, did good in Houston. No, he didn't want to go to Houston. He could have went to shoot. He could have went to a team like Utah. Everybody laughed like, man, why would he go to Utah? Utah got a really good team. He slide in there, probably make them the second best team or the third best team in the West behind Golden State and Houston. But they probably would have been the second best team looking at seeing how Houston is imploding. So he chose a team. I don't feel sorry for LeBron James because you chose your destination. We are a product of our decisions. Your decision was to go to LA. You wanted to be closer out there to LA because you want to make movies and all this stuff. And you got to understand that that's a young team. Y'all are probably, if you know what I'm saying, if things don't go right in free agency after this year, y'all probably a couple years away from contending for even think about contending for a title. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, it's so many teams in the West, man, that probably got next before the Lakers, which I can say they can win a title before the Lakers win a title. Like Houston, Utah. We all know Golden State is still there. So, and if somebody decide one of them free agents decide to go to Portland, Portland is right there. You know what I'm saying? Because Portland got two dynamic guards, which I think Portland are probably a nice size wing player away from being a real contender. So it's other teams that have next if LA doesn't land one of those big time free agents next year. They have to. I say this: they should package Ball and either Ingram or Kuzma, and go trade for Damian Lillard. That's what they should do, and then hopefully they can get somebody in free agency. You know what I'm saying? And then they can get some other lower tier free agencies and build a championship team that way. Because as it as it constituted right now, they got too many guys that play the same position. Kuzma, Ingram, those guys kind of like bump heads. You know what I'm saying? And then you got LeBron James. So where you gonna play them to? You gonna play all three of them together? Okay, you put Kuzma at power forward. He can't really play power forward. Yes, you can play small ball, but it's not good to play have your roster and your main starting five to be to be small. Even Golden State, their best unit is the small unit, but they don't come out like that. They come out there at center. They come out there with Looney or either the other young kid. They come out there with Draymond Green. at power forward, Looney at center, or they probably had another kid, like I said, that Jordan dude, or and then they'll have like Klay Thompson at shooting at small forward, shooting guard. At shooting guard, and small forward they'll have KD, and point guard they'll have Curry. But they call that the Hampton Five is they'll have Draymond Green at center, Iguodala at power forward, small forward at Kevin Durant, shooting guard Klay Thompson, and point guard Steph Curry. You know what I'm saying? But they don't start that unit, and LA cannot start a unit with Ball at point guard. Um, what you gonna have? Who you gonna have at shooting guard? You gonna have what? You gonna have Ingram at shooting guard, and then you gonna have LeBron at small forward. You're gonna have at power forward. You're gonna have Kuzma, and then what? Well, you could probably throw Josh Hart in there to play shooting guard. That's not gonna work. You know what I'm saying? First of all, they don't have enough 3-point shooting. Even though I'm not a fan of these guys shooting all these threes, trying to play like Golden State because everybody don't have the roster to play like Golden State. But overall, they don't have enough shooting. Alonzo Ball, he's a decent shooter. His jump shot has gotten better this year. But my thing is this: when a player coming to the NBA and his shot is not good, you know what I'm saying? If he's not a pure shooter anyway, and most are not when they come in the NBA, it takes 2 to 3 years before you get a jump shot that you can rely on. Yeah, too many slashers. They have too many slashers and not enough shooting to spread the court. You need for your slashers to be really effective. You need to have space on the court, and the Lakers don't have enough space on the court. And now this is what LeBron James do, man. He dropped little hints. You know what I'm saying? He dropped little hints because he knows that this team is not. I told everybody, the Lakers are not going to even make the playoffs. So the Lakers fans need to get prepared for them not to make the playoffs. Because I keep telling people this. People think that the West is so tough and there's so many teams that you got to play night to night and you can even lose to. You can even lose to the Sacramento Kings. You can lose to the Memphis Grizzlies in the West. That's how deep the West is. And people are not looking at the East. The Eastern Conference is better than what people thought it was going to be. You got Toronto with the addition of Kawhi Leonard, and Kawhi Leonard don't even play every game, and Toronto is winning. You got the emergence of the Bucks, the Milwaukee Bucks with Giannis and Middleton and Bledsoe and that whole crew with Henson down low with his lone self blocking stuff, catching lobs. You got Detroit. You got Washington Wizards when they get they act when they get they act together and they firing on all cylinders. The Wizards are hard to deal with. You got the Boston Celtics. You got Philly. Now they got Butler. So you even got teams. So when he go on out and play the teams in the East or the East coming to LA, and those six teams that I named, 6, 7 teams that I named, they're gonna have problems with those teams. So you gotta look, it's gonna take at least what? It's gonna take about at least 48 to 49 to 50 games to make. Yeah, Brooklyn Nets got a lot of young talent. They can now. You can lose to Brooklyn Nets just like the Phoenix Suns. You can lose to them if you're not playing your best game. They can come in there and beat you, or you can go to their house and you can lose. So it's gonna take about 48 to 49